Hello 1009, welcome to Module 2. This week we're diving into the most basic unit of life on Earth, and that is the cell. We're going to be learning about the basic features of the cell. That's going to comprise primarily your Chapter 4 reading, which you're just reading a subset of Chapter 4, but in that reading you're going to learn about the basic components of a cell. You're also going to learn about what distinguishes prokaryotic versus eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotes are things like animals, plants, and fungi, and protists, including ourselves. Prokaryotes are things like bacteria. And so knowing the difference between them is vital for us, our ability to actually treat bacterial infections, because we can then target features of prokaryotic cells that are different than eukaryotic cells. So what we treat the bacteria with doesn't actually end up harming us. And one of the main ways we treat bacteria is through chemicals that affect their prokaryotic cell membranes. And so Chapter 5 is going to be focusing all about cell membranes. Why are we spending so much time on cell membranes? Because cell membranes are vital, or they're essential for cell survival and reproduction. Why is that? Because the cell membrane governs what comes in and what leaves a cell. All the nutrients that a cell needs to survive, all the food that a cell needs to survive, and all the waste that a cell produces, or the molecules that a cell produces to fight off to fight off predators or to defend itself, all has to pass through the membrane. So how the membrane works is essential for understanding how a cell works. And so Chapter 5 is going to teach us all about the different aspects of a cell membrane, what it's made of, what the different proteins are, what other molecules are involved in the structure of a cell membrane, how those structures differ between prokaryote and eukaryotic cells. You're also going to look at what we call the fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane, this idea that the molecules that facilitate the transport of nutrients and waste in and out of the cell are actually floating in sort of a dynamic fluid state in the cell membrane itself. You're going to learn about different types of transporters, passive and active transporters, as well as different types of active transporters. You're also going to learn about different ways that cells facilitate or be it active or passive, the transport of basic minerals, nutrients, and ions through the cell membrane. That's the focus of this week. It's Chapter 4, part of Chapter 4, all of Chapter 5. You have your Learn Smart assignment that you need to complete. You have a homework assignment that you're going to work on with your team, and then you have a quiz. And then at the end of the week, you want to complete the What Did You Learn This Week, to do a little self-reflection. What of the learning outcomes in the study guide did you understand? What didn't you understand? What could you use more help on? Along that way, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help. This stuff is something you're probably not too familiar with. You don't get that many chances to look at the basic components of a cell membrane on a day-to-day basis. So if you have any, if you're struggling with any of it, don't hesitate to reach out to me or Yesenia. We're happy to help give you some feedback. Otherwise, I'll let you at it, and have a good week.